What is going on? Collingwood, Richmond, big game on Sunday. Let's talk about it. So today I'm on location. Behind me is the AIA Centre. I just came from Collingwood training. I got a day off today. Boys looked really good. Like, as much as you can with training, the boys looked really good. Jordan De set out for most of it. Nick Dacos set out for most of it. I think maybe it's that like hamstring, that corky that he copped in against Geelong that might have, maybe not making him run a lot. So they're definitely managing him. But we know this. Fly already said that we're managing some of these players. A bit more about training is they're looking at flowing the ball a lot more, which is nice. Running from half back. Josh Dacos was training a lot at half back. I think we need a good user of the ball down there, and I think Josh Dacos is that guy. Preferably, I want Nick Dacos, I want Jack Crisp on that half back line, but I know we can't, sort of move Nick from the middle because he's so good in the middle, but you need, we're crap at the moment for turning the ball from defensive 50 into scores, and we were like ranked in at least the top 3 last year, if not first, for doing that. It's like defensive chains, and that's something that we definitely need to improve. And it all starts on Sunday against Richmond. And I know Richmond are one of those teams where they're not doing too well, but look what they did with Port Adelaide. They can sort of come out and play. So it's going to be not a walk in the park, because we know with this Collingwood side, it's not a walk in the park anymore. Hopefully you can hear me with this wind sort of thing. But something else about training is at the end of training, Fly came around, sort of talked to all of us, talking to people individually, taking photos and stuff, and we had a bit of a chat. And the one message that he sort of wanted to get across was that 1 goal in 3 quarters of football or thereabouts is terrible. He said to us, or said to me, that when he saw that 1 goal, he got straight on the phone and said, "This is shit. This is fucking terrible," and he straight on the phone to the coaches. And that's when we started throwing caution into the wind. We ended up kicking 9 goals for that game against the Hawks, but we also conceded a lot. So what he was saying was that we threw caution to the wind, and to sort of disregard that last, if I read him right, if I understood right, was to sort of disregard that last quarter sort of game plan, because we needed to take those huge risks to score goals. That's not what we want to do. We don't want to take those risks. We don't want to be in that position. But we needed to do that because he said that for the fans and the supporters that turn up on a shitty, windy, rainy day, that was terrible to put 1 goal up in nearly 3 quarters or just over 3 quarters of football. And he wanted to give us something to cheer about, and that's why we threw caution to the wind. But then Hawthorn scored heavily, so you got to disregard that. Another thing that Fly was saying was, and I really wish that I recorded it, but I'm very mindful of, like, I don't want to be that guy that just goes up with a camera, to the players and stuff. And it's cool when people do that. I just don't have the confidence in me to say, Fly, can you talk about the game? I was like, I don't know, just my anxieties and anyway. Another thing that he did say was, if you watch that first 30 seconds of the Geelong game, and let me just move a little bit, because I might put it up here. He was saying that there was a passage of play where Darcy Moore gets the handball, and we want to be a territory team. We want to, instead of handballing 5 metres, we want to take a 50-metre kick and get down the line. What he said was Darcy Moore had the opportunity to do that. He picks it up, he handballs to Josh Dacos, handballs. It goes up, and it's too long, and then we're outnumbered, and then it comes back, and then we're already out of shape. So they're trying to be that territory team that we know and love, and that's what they do best, the Pies. So that's what we're going to see more of against Richmond. I dare say that it's going to be more getting it, and instead of these little dinky handballs, getting it and smashing it long. And I can understand now why Darcy Cameron is sort of bombing it long and trying to get that territory. But when our press and our form is out of shape up the ground, those long bombs don't work out. So I think it's going to be a lot of sort of managing how we set up further up the ground and waiting for those bombs. Like last year, we were doing it a little bit. Well, not a little bit, we're doing it a lot better. This year, we're not doing it better at all. So there are little things that we can definitely tweak going forward. I think in regards to this game, it's very, obviously it's very important. All these games are do or die now. But we need to win the next 5 games, right? If we're any chance of making the finals, we need to win at least at least 4 of the next 5. And it all starts against Richmond. Like I said, Richmond gave Port Adelaide a good scare, and these bottom teams, they're going to want to stuff up the big teams leading into that. Like the Kangaroos, St Kilda said it. Ross Lyon came out and said, we can cause some headaches to these sort of teams, and Richmond are going to want to do that to us. Does Dustin Martin play? Toby Nankervis out is a really big help for us because, it helps if sort of Cox comes in with Darcy Cameron. Darcy Cameron gets a little bit of a chop out. So it's going to be an interesting game. I just want to see. I know we're not going to get the Collingwood of old. We don't get that old Collingwood anymore. It's this newish Collingwood, but it's still that territory team. It's still that running team. So I still want to see us running off the half-back line and just generating scores. I know for a lot of this year, we were generating more scores from the forward 50, coming out of that forward half and then going into goals, as opposed to the defensive half like we were last year. I think we have to go back to that if possible. I know it's hard to change the game plan on the fly, no pun intended, but we just need to see a little bit more excitement, and I've been saying it for the last few videos. We need to see a little bit more of that sexy football, and it has to start against Richmond, because all you need to do is just take it week by week, win the game that's in front of you, then win the next game, then win the next game, then win the next game, then win the next game. So it all starts against Richmond, and it's going to be a Sunday, 1:10 is a good time slot on a Sunday, and I guarantee you it's not going to be like what we saw against Hawthorn, because that was shithouse. Even Fly came out and said that that's wet weather. We didn't adapt to wet weather football. So hopefully, if it does rain, we do adapt quicker to wet weather football more than Hawthorn, or more than the Hawthorn game. But it's going to be interesting. Our season's been on the line for the last few weeks. We could have been sitting pretty in the top 8 at the moment, and we're not. This is the reality of our situation. We need to beat Richmond, and I don't care if it's a 70-point win. I don't care if it's a 2-point win. I don't care if it's a scrappy win. We don't get points. We don't get points for being stylish. Cool forklift. We don't get points for being stylish. We just have to win any means necessary, even if it is just scraping through. And I think it's going to be, a turning point in our season. I think they will start tweaking a little bit. Schultz comes back in. Mason Cox will come back in. Schultz's pressure is nothing to scoff at. It's second to none at the club. It would have been nice with Bo McCreary coming in as well, but he's not able to because of that injury. So Schultz in that forward line is really going to help. I want to see, if they are going to play Jordan De Goey, I want to see him mainly in that forward line because we know what he can do, and he can't run. He doesn't have that tank anymore. So I do want to see a little bit more experimentations, but not too much. I don't want to see Darcy Moore up forward and this and this and this. But putting one of the Dacos brothers to half back, I think, is a good move. We need that silk. We need that precise kicking coming off that half back line. Maybe they take Markov out of the team. I can't see Markov and Noble just staying in the team together. It's just one or the other. But I understand with, like what Brody Holland said in my video with him, with VFL form and all the injuries, we don't have those players that are pushing to come back in. But I would love to see a Dacos brother off the half back line. But look, I'm not going to talk about this much more. It's just, like, I don't have to say that it's the biggest game of our season so far, and it's against Richmond. 8 weeks ago, you would have penciled this in as a 60-point win, and now you're going, can we just scrape through? Can we just scrape through and get a win? There's no way we lose 5 in a row, right? It all starts, that first bounce. You can tell straight away with this team if we're on or not in the first minute. So we have to be absolutely ready to go in the first minute. Like Brody Holland said, dints in our opposition armour, just hitting them hard, tackling hard. We need to bring back the pressure pies. Like last week, we were the depressured pies, right? We were inflated. Deflate. We were deflated. We need to inflate, and we need to come out and just smash Richmond, put them into the ground. We love playing against Richmond at the moment. Smash them, put them into the ground, come out, get the win, and then go on to next week. It all starts on Sunday, 1:10. I'll see you guys there. And until then, like, comment, subscribe, Tay family, Tay friends, Tay pets, and until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.